All right. Hello, hello. What is up, everybody? Gonna be going over some VOD reviews today. So unfortunately, I didn't get to live cast any of ALGS yesterday, but today I wanted to do a little bit of VOD review, get into the results. I wanted to spectate some Yup games, specifically the first two, because as you see, game one they came 10th, and game two they ended up winning. I think they also won game six and finished first on the day. But I really, really am a big Duplex fan. He's been around the scene for a while. Also took a break for a while, but obviously happy to see him back and playing with Native and Yup. So I really wanted to go over just some of his gameplay. I really think his IGLing is quite good. Um, Duplex has been a super consistent player ever since he played on EA. I bet if we bring up his league pedia here, you're just gonna see hella wins. If it wants to load. Yeah, so here we go. Like, obviously, really consistent high finishes with EA, and then really consistent high finishes with OG. Um, So he's a player that I really, really, really like to watch call. He's a really fun player to watch too. He doesn't stream often anymore, but if you ever watched like his his games with Rogue, um, or Dropped, like he's really, really fun to watch. Really funny guy. So just wanted to dive into the first two games with Yup here. Again, they didn't finish. They did finish first place yesterday, which is really awesome, beating out TSM and Falcons. If you don't know, Group A versus B is the really, really competitive groups. Not that Group C doesn't have good teams in it, but Group A and Group B are usually the ones where people are like um, perceive as the top performing teams and usually do have the top performing teams. So obviously Falcons still first overall by quite a landslide, really close standings yesterday. Um, but yeah, let's hop in. I fast forward a little bit through game one here. I didn't want to start right at minute one, save us some time. So we're kind of starting a little more towards the mid game. Still pretty early, 1 minute 30 on zone 2 as you see. But we're going to start here. Prodigy Aces is smoking so they can scan beacon. Really nice body blocking as well. Something you don't see utilized enough, in my opinion. Like right there, they were able to get tempo because Prodigy blocks some bullets, and allows Osivian to finish the Cyan. So really, really nice micro there. Stuff like that really, really impacts tempo. So rather than having to disengage, heal, and then re-engage on the scan, they just get it the first time. So they save themselves like 15 seconds there. And 15 seconds can be huge, especially if another team's like scanning or flying in. So by doing that, they kind of guarantee themselves this nut. Probably would have got it either way, but it's still a really, really nice play to keep tempo. Now they're just playing for info. They know there is one team to their east
Flying. To the spot. The space
coming
outside your
in. So they're going to look to take some space on that,
You need to be
most
careful
likely.
about peeking because this team might just
I
slow
have
down.
not pre-watched these
Pretty
games,
sure the guy
by
just
the way.
have
Live casting. I know the results because I looked at Battlefy, but I have not pre-watched the actual games. So they're looking to take space on this team east that just flew in, and they also identified a team south. Yeah, on that hill, kind of where Prodigy Aces just looked. So looks like they want to get active, but they do have to be careful of getting shot in the back there. This is kind of one of those like awkward spots because you don't want to give two teams too much space. Because if they give this East team too much space, like if they walk up to where Prodigy is right now, that team
Also, if this
on
is
the
the
hill
team
is
that
just
was
going to
over
punish
your
them.
command, it might be the
Like
team that
the
was
nuts
keeping the
kind
back.
of like your home base, your area
There
to
was still a command
reset,
up here.
but it's not
Command
super
and the
strong
ball
to
team both know
play
it's
out
third
of with 17 squads and this much space left in the zone.
That way.
So that's why they're looking to take space on the east side.
Yeah, this might be
Prodigy
the
is
one where it
doing a
ends right
pretty
here,
good
like on
job
that building.
of being active right now, and like he's getting a lot of information right now.
Flying in right here.
Looks like they have multiple teams south now, so this gets even worse for them. This nut went from being really good to now super because you're going to have teams wrapping. You have multiple teams flying, 2 teams playing your south, 1 team playing your east. And the reason Nut's not super defendable is because of those big open like windows on the top floor and that big hole in the bottom floor. So it's really nade stackable. Only way to hold that without getting naded out usually is like Watson gens. And also, if you've ever played this nut, you know East doesn't have great angles, but you kind of have to hold the door that's facing Prodigy Aces. But South can punish you so hard on anywhere but that inner staircase. So if you're playing top floor, you kind of have a counter peek south, but it's not super safe, especially if there's 2 teams. Angling
they're shooting the,
those bins and those rocks provide a decent area to push the nut from as well to the south. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of those teams tried to work that. And it's unlikely that a team would push down a second team to those rocks and bins from higher on the hill. But they would be able to shoot the rock team in the back. So interesting to see how this will play out.
Unless they cross.
I think they will still look to challenge that East team. Yeah, just trying to smoke, trying to reduce angles here, so they're not getting punished as hard. If they can hold this zone or this spot in zone till this is fully like closed, then they're actually in a really decent spot. Most likely a team will come push in east, and they will have to challenge that. We know one team looked to evac out, but there's at least like 2 teams still on this side, probably 3. So it's pretty likely that a team will walk in at some point, and they will have to fight. They'll just want to try and fight that as fast as possible, because the longer they fight a team coming east, the more likely it is they get punished from that southwest side, especially with 2. Really good calls from Duke here, kind of calling Prod back. But it looks like they scared them, so Prod's going to go back to watching the east side. Good awareness from Prodigy here. Yes, it's tempting to try and get that KP, but if they full commit and get walked on by east, I mean, they're basically throwing their whole game, right? So if Prodigy Aces swings and they get that 3 KP, and it's identified by the East team, especially with like a lot of Bloodhound meta, they're going to scan, get that information right away, and as soon as they see he's not holding, they're going to walk up on the nut, and it becomes really bad really quickly for Yup here. So pretty good job just taking space, holding their space. This is a thing we see pro players do really well. And now that zone's coming in, 20 seconds left. I would like to see either Osivian or Duke come play this with Prod, to be honest. Yes, now Prod's calling them over, recognizing it as well. They really need to hold.
Scan close left. 132 on this.
Really nice crack there. That zone's going to punish that team, or they might be barely in, actually.
Got him.
Really nice knock. And 100 split damage. They're going to want to walk up on this, maybe. Duplex a little behind, now getting shot in the back by that Southwest team. This is getting shitty really quickly. I think they got counter ulted as well, and getting nade spammed. Really need this reset. That got crazy really quickly. They need to triple nut now. Triple nut. No. Triple nut. No, they took too long to get in the nut. They're going to get punished for that. Prodigy Aces is knocked, and now that's going to be a green light for both teams. East team sees that knock. Southwest team sees that knock, and now you have a really hard reset for Duplex in Osivian. So this turned really quickly. I don't think holding East was a bad call at all. I think it was the necessary call. I mean, you don't really have an option there. But for them to not get back in that nut right away, is a little bit dicey, and I also think it's better for Prod to stay up because it's easier to reset with bang smokes than without. If Dupe or Osivian have nades, they're going to want to nade that zip. They do not want to give that team a chance to zip on them, and it looks like they do get pushed. Osivian is knocked, and now Duplex in a 1v2. Prodigy's going to want to drop right on Dupe and help him out here. He's knocked one. This could be a 2v2. No! Ace is playing the other side is really bad. Dupe's calling out that he knocked 2 of them. Oh no! Aces needed to land right on them. I understand zone is coming, but they just want that wipe, and then he can walk in a lot safer. I don't think that East team can run through river now. They probably rotated through the tunnel side. So now Ace is in the 1v1. We're gonna want to play this rock. He's gonna want to hold tempo. He's Alternator versus Havoc. It's a hard fight to win, but he'll get a little reset on this Bins. That guy's lost. That guy doesn't know. Oh, he should win this. He needs to swing this right side. Swing this right side. Don't play into the fuse. Play the right side, please. And that's it. That's it. He can no longer push. It's, oh no. Oh no. I mean, swinging that right side is difficult. I know seeing the wall makes you want to play more cover, but I mean that's playing kind of right into what Fuse wants. And either way here, you're dead. You're not getting higher placement. Like this, your next rotation is so difficult if you look at how the zone pulled. So basically, all he wants is like 1 or 2 desperation points from KP. So he really does want to sing that Fuse on the right side because he knows he's sitting around like 20 HP. But really nice try from Prod there. I think he just needs to drop on Dupe there. I mean, your game's kind of cooked either way, so you really want that KP. And like, honestly, even if you were to drop and thirst one that Dupe had knocked, I think it's a better call than dropping onto that zip and trying to play long angles with no attachments, no meds on respawn, because you're just going to get rinsed, and as soon as you take damage, it's basically permanent because you're not respawning with like batteries or anything like that. So really nice try from Yup here. Honestly, I feel like their decision making was really good. They got a little unlucky on the execution on Nut. But they did just need to play the Nut sooner. They did overcommit a little bit, and then I think it's better for Prod to just stay up, keep his armor, because again, the bang reset is a little bit easier with those smokes.
Fuck, bro, that Fuso was actually just goated.
But like really nice try. I'm gonna fast forward here, try and find game number 2 because they do win game number 2. Again, really nice try in game number 1. I think they probably had about 3 KP. It was 10th place, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll let you know when I drop in. Drop in here.
Yes, 3 KP, 10th place. So only a 5-point game, but points are always important. So much better than a 0. And it is game 1, right? So keep in mind, if you want to play aggressively in Pro League ALGS, it's always better to do it in the early games because you have like more time to make it up if you screw up. So if you have a low point game, worst case scenario, have a 0-point game, you still have 5 games left to play. Whereas if you do it in game 4 or game 5, lobbies are a lot more competitive, especially when we have World's Edge as our second map, because teams have been playing World's Edge a lot longer. And as, I mean, LG in match day 6 was a perfect example. Sweet knows World's Edge like the back of his fucking hand, and they drop back-to-back wins to totally like upset the leaderboard of the day. So really good, I think, to play aggressives game 1 and game 2, especially if you're a team in need of playoff points. And then World's Edge, you can look to kind of capitalize on mistakes a little more, play a little more of a defensive game. Really nice coordination here, getting the turbo back onto Prod. I mean, their TTK, I think, are they all triple Hemlock Havoc? They're triple heavy energy, so honestly, they have really, really good guns for taking 3v3s right now. As long as they can get something fairly isolated, they should be able to end the fights fairly quick. That's kind of people's complaint with this Havoc meta. It's just like
hit it.
it's so quick to wipe people. There's not a lot of counterplay options, especially if you yourself don't have a Havoc. Like if you have R9 versus Havoc, for example, you're losing every time. So they do get a team kind of to the southwest on their scan. They could angle this out. To be honest, they have a lot better spot than this team.
That's a pretty safe on me, dude.
Fairly decent call to go for the Evo, but I would have liked to see Dupe and Osivian actively looking before he slid down. So they definitely need a blue before they fight anything. So it is a good call to take the Evo, but Osivian and Dupe need to be shooting as he's sliding down. He kind of slid with not a ton of info there. They knew they were backing up, taking some stays, but still, I just think coordination there could have been a little bit better. But does look like he's going to get out relatively unpunished. He is going to burn a lot of meds there, which in the long run might play a factor. But it is nice that they find a Phoenix there. But yeah, still like one bat, 2 or 3 cells down. From that, when I think they could have lowered the cost. That's again might play a factor long term, especially if they don't get a wipe and get a chance to like replenish. But if they do get a chance to replenish, then it'll be kind of a non-factor. So time will tell with that one. Osivian taking a massive shot. That was probably a charge sent or something. So they wish they still had that Phoenix, but he's going to slow heal up.
Say spawn. Listen, if a team line's here, say spawn on me. And I can just bang ult him.
Yes, really good call. So this is really good pre-planning from Prod. So they're planning to play this late, right? It looks like they're planning to stay here for a while. And this is really, really good awareness. So they're kind of narrowing down what possible plays teams are going to make and what to do in each situation. So as long as if this situation happens, they stick to the game plan, they're actually like upping their chance of winning the 3v3 by like 20-30%, because it's less scramble, less like what angle am I peeking, what's our execution on this fight, and it's more of like, okay, I know the bang ult, as it drops we're gonna play the angles because they're forced to move, and then like your chance of winning the 3v3 is so much stronger, especially because when teams random drop like out of bounds or something like that, like deploying in, they are playing with a lack of information. So they're usually a little scrambly. So you're really, really just taking advantage of an opportunity to punish them.
CC tries to slide down and fights anybody, bro.
I might do a little fast forwarding here. Looks like nothing too crazy is happening.
That's not really
at this moment. They're just kind of working angles. Prodigy Aces is learning this corner of the map, which is totally fair, because I have no idea what it looks like back here.
Remember, the only place that they vacuum is
yeah, they do actually have a decent amount of cover, more than I would have expected. So kind of smart for him to check this, but I think it's unlikely at this that they get flown on. But again, they're doing a really good job of eliminating other teams' play options. So by doing this, I mean you're forcing a team out of that corner, or you're forcing them to shoot traps immediately, and if they're shooting traps, obviously they can't shoot you, so you get a chance to fight while they're doing that. You basically get free shots, and then obviously they have to reload as well. So you're buying yourself like maybe 3.5 seconds before they can actually fight you. So I think the preparation so far this game has been very, very clean. From the boys here. Now they're kind of figuring out their next rotation. They know they're now getting pushed out of this zone. They're looking at that nut. I believe that team is still playing the nut. I can't say 100%.
If a team lands on me, I'm fucking bangled to myself and running to you guys.
I mean, yep, pretty good play there. I think if he sees a team flying, he can even bang ult before they land. And then, as we know, when you land, there's a delay before you
Stay
can
healthy, 'cause you guys
full
might just
sprint
have to
again
fucking look
or
at me very
pull out
hard.
your gun. So if he has a nice angle on one of them
Why is he
landing,
not shooting him
he
out,
can
bro?
also
What
get
the
some
fuck are they
shots
doing?
off before he has to back up for
I'm playing
maybe
here.
half a second to 1 second. So if someone does fly and try and
Down
drop
here
here,
too.
I'd like to see him actually
Not all
ult
the way there.
just like 1 second before they hit the
Yeah,
ground,
they
so
know
they don't have a
kids.
chance to full swerve, and now they're kind of committed into his ultimate.
I see the fucking turret beam in this.
Gonna keep fast forwarding a little bit here.
No, they just
That
right
team
here.
on
They ping
height,
yellow ping.
I don't know. That's hard for that
still
team
too.
on height.
I'm pretty sure this is
If they
getting
see
split
teams
right
leaving
here.
the
If it
area,
pulls down,
like
we
native
should
here,
probably
then
slide down
that
and
team's
try and
probably
take
gonna
that.
slide down. But them
Take what?
moving before native
they're not.
would be really difficult
Just let
because
them
if
go.
native is obviously looking, they're gonna get punished out of their minds
watching them
for
also.
trying to
How many kills do you
slide
have,
down
dude?
early. Really nice shots from
I
Prod
have
there.
fucking kills over here. Yo, there's
They
shots here
are
if you
quite
get
far
to me,
from
dude.
Purple Evo,
Once this smoke goes away, there's shots there.
which
They're
does
literally in the
make
open.
any 3v3s late game
Right.
difficult, so they'll be looking to level those up still. They are decent on inventory. They don't have enough ammo to last them till end game. But right now
very
they're
heavy
probably
amateur,
going to
I'm
look
assuming.
for some sort of KP on this next rotation. Kind of give them a chance to resupply for that
Listen,
late.
40
No,
seconds.
I was gonna drop you one if you. have
40
it.
seconds.
Yeah, so
and
that
be
team
ready
is
to
still in the
fucking
nut.
slide
Looks
downhill
like they
here.
might be split holding
They're definitely
both.
spit holding.
Yes.
Bloodhound just crossed to the left. We can take the close
did?
one or the
Yes,
right one.
good
Yeah, we
comms
just
from
went
Prod.
left.
One.
Good info for his team. I don't know if Dupe
Yeah, one
and
of them's out here, he just
Osivian
got
were
cracked.
also watching that.
He
But
got
even if
hit
they
way out
are,
here.
sometimes your teammates
Yeah, get
don't
ready to
always
throw your
realize
big
all
ult,
the
literally
information
right
in
there.
front of them,
You have
especially
an
because
arc,
there's
we're
so
gonna
much
need an
going
archer, break
on
that
in
arc.
these
Do we have an
lobbies.
arc?
So it's always nice
I
to
don't have an arc.
communicate.
Here.
Better to overcom in a
Okay,
situation
don't
like
get that
this than to not com, because you're not actively fighting. So just make sure all that information's
Yeah, I
out
got
there,
here.
and your team can make more
Ready for
educated
that team to slide
decisions.
down, bro, on some dumb shit.
Also, good splitting of utility
I'm
here,
looking.
Okay,
I might try to
so
get you back
that's
way down.
bang.
giving them more
Who are you looking right now,
opportunities
at
to
Bang?
punish.
I saw a bang right there.
Try to look for cat. Oh, we're
We're
safe.
chilling.
It's still up.
You should double up, Prod. Double
Might
up
be up.
top.
It might be up here then.
Okay,
Yeah, I see
really
something
good
right
call
now.
from Dupe.
Yeah,
So
but
they
they're
see
gonna
it
play, like,
pulls
don't they have,
back
like, a
to them,
generator? They're
so
gonna
they're
play
safe
Falcons.
for
Gonna try
one
and
more
slide
zone.
down and you
So
guys
now,
call me over.
instantly, they know
Play that
They
generator.
don't
walking
play
up
that
this
other way down.
hill
They have this
is a
rock that
death
goes down
sentence
that
for
wall.
any
Yeah, they're
team.
gonna play
that.
Walking
I'm
up
gonna
this
play-
hill,
I'm gonna
play
every
close
team
wall
in
now.
the
I'm
lobby
gonna play
will
literally
shoot
right
at
here.
you, and you have a 0% survival chance unless they got hit by a bus
Gotta
and
look for
magically
kills
can't
about
aim the
30
day
later.
before
It's gonna
Pro
be
League.
shit show in the
So
middle zone.
the only
Maybe
real
people
threat
flying.
they know is that team towards
Yeah,
Zeus
remember
Station.
the-
That team to the southeast up
I think
there
it's the same
with
as last time,
Rampart
remember?
is the only team that
The
can
one where
really
the Oregon?
punish them at this moment.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
same exact zone.
So they know they have a really good spot for the next couple minutes
Remember though.
until this closes. They may still have to move. I'm not entirely sure where this zone ends,
What do you think is
but they're
ending?
doing a really good job of reading the current zone and
What's,
making
what
sure
have you
that the
had? Do you
team
have
above
dip?
them can't
What do you
punish
need
them
to trade
because
out
that's
there?
the only team in the lobby in position to do
How
so.
come do you have-
I think it's
ready to
going to
watch
be a
this?
lot of
Get ready to
inactive
bangle them
holding,
and
so
fucking
I'm just
use
fast
everything to
forwarding a
kill 'em.
little
You
bit
want our
till we
height,
can
if
see
you-
what's
if you
going
bingo,
on.
Todd,
Really nice shots from Prod.
Blues up there also. Just hit a blue up
Tapping
there.
those pixels from a distance. This is a pretty decent angle too. He was just holding. I'm not sure if Height can actually
mistake,
see
you
his
need to win
back
this
there
game.
against the
Win
fence.
God spot.
They probably can. As you see, it just got punished for taking shots.
There is a
So
team
they
outside
do
the
want to be
tunnel here, I think.
proactive to those lower teams, but they also have to
be
be
careful
a little
crossing
bit
up there.
careful because again, there's only one
They're
team
gonna
right
play
now
laws,
that's a
yeah,
kill
they're
threat
gonna-
to them,
yeah.
and this
Zone
team
is a
honestly
little
might
zone,
just
is a little
slide
zone.
them.
Still in.
I don't know how good that rock is to play, and they get zone
We
pull
want to play deep side when it
again.
gets really fucking hectic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
You
so
guys gotta
now
play
they
like up
have
here
the
on
best
head
spot
glitch,
in
just
the
like a head
lobby
glitch up
I'm gonna
there.
play
Now-
here.
by
play
far.
Here for now,
I think they
don't
already
back up
did,
when I have to.
but it really solidifies it.
Probably playing here.
They have the
fucking kills
safest
here.
place and a place where they can look for KP and 3Ps,
No, we need to
especially
play
because
for the
all
win.
these
Fuck
low
the
ground
kills.
teams
We need
Yeah,
to
are
hold
going to
it.
be
Also
forced to
can free back
rotate
there.
really
I can
hard.
easily cross,
And
so-
as you can see in the top
I
left,
just wanna-
this
I wanna
zone
get- I wanna
pull,
get somebody's
lots
skills
of
when they
open
slide down.
area,
They can
lots
also
of
fight and slide
punishable
down.
stuff.
As
There
soon as
are
they get close to me, like,
rocks,
slide down, I'll leave.
and
I'll
kind of
do
where
something.
Prod was looking earlier,
to
there's
call me
like that
over,
little
'cause I-
tunnel and
we
climb
should
ups,
get this- I
but
should
those
be
get
able to get
angled
this up
out
and help you guys
from
shoot.
everywhere. If you've ever actually played them, they don't feel that safe, especially if there's a couple squads in a
Yeah, you're
close
spraying
vicinity.
space on a safe spot now.
It's really, really punishable. So, not a great spot for those teams on low ground. They're not going to be too happy with how this zone is pulling. And on the opposite end of that, Native is going to be really, really happy. Just still keeping an eye on this height team. Still a good call. That height team is lucky to have Rampart right now. Rampart's making that height hold a lot easier for them.
There's no
As
way
you
they
can
don't
see, they're
fight,
kind of
bro.
getting pulled off the roof. But since they have those walls, the actual angles they can get shot are reduced by quite a bit.
Let me know if you hear Eve, like if you see.
Zone is moving now. We're at 11. I think by the time this zone closes, we should be like 6, 7. Maybe if everyone's fragging like 5. I think a lot of teams are going to get punished right now. As you can see, now they're making the call to punish this height team. Really good call. Prod's going to take some space, and he has this truck to his right to keep him safe. This is a really nice angle from Prod. Really, really nice angle that he found here, and that height team is basically just sitting ducks. Absolutely ruined with the Bengals. I don't know about the forward smoke. I don't know how much I love that because he has his team behind him, and he's trying to play that angle for shots, right? So he kind of just like smokes off his own angle. I would have liked him to see him smoke off the teams behind. But again, at this point, that team has no chance to reset, so they're just sitting ducks.
Look over.
And really nice call to swing and finish that team off. Lots of nades picked up for Prodigy Aces. Now they're going to be able to punish the 5 remaining teams in the lobby. This is going to be absolutely massive. He is out of heavy ammo. Yeah. Good call to loot this really quick. I think they can be a little more proactive here. I understand they don't want to throw the game, but I think... Oh, they are getting walked up on. Okay, good. Really good call. Never mind. Forget everything I said. Really good call to get Prodigy Aces back here, because that lower team is getting a little bit active, and it's better to go for that guaranteed first or a higher % chance of first than that KP on the left side, because you're also going to get KP from here. So you're really, really not sacrificing too much. That guy go into zone? I don't know what the fuck that guy is doing. That is the face of desperation. That team is out of here. SSG probably out of options. Probably making a desperation, frustrated call to do that. But now it's 2 other teams and Native Gaming. They know where both teams are. And this game should just be a pretty clean wash from here. They have God Spot. It's insanely hard for either other team to really do anything. Bengals back up, and the nades he got from the box earlier. Other 2 teams are dropping on each other. Rod can swing this right side, but doesn't want to go too early. Really good call to take space on the right. You really don't want to let them walk up, because that's the only way they win this game. He can play this lower wall, though, that he was playing earlier. And he will walk up a little bit. Gives him more pressure, better angles. And they know there's a lot of knocks. They can just ape this. Look at kill feed. And here we go. Shouldn't get a chance to reset, and this should just be a clean...
Drop on this close guy. Can we drop on this close guy? Healthy. I'm dropping with you.
To be honest, I think they shouldn't have waited that long to drop, because the team gets longer to reset. But in the end, it's a really good spot for them. Yup! Really nice cleanup from Prodigy Aces and the boys for a very solid win in game 2. So really well done for them. That's game 1, and game 2 wrapped up. Yup! And that is a pretty solid storm point so far, to be honest. Didn't get a ton of points in that first game, but I mean 5 and 25, or 5 and 20, sorry. Wow, Falcons fragged out that game. Falcons actually went crazy to play off the low ground and perform that well. That's really good. So actually, I think I want to watch Falcons' point of view from that game as well. Kind of go through their decision making as well. So we'll wrap that up on Yup. Again, they did finish first in the day. Well played from them. and we can bring up maybe Zero's POV from that game. Let's take a look. If I can find him. We'll just go to Hal. Might be a little easier. Oh! You seen this shit? Excuse me? Are we not signed to Team Falcons? Check him PC. Still repping TSM. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's see. So this would have been
Get him inside.
game 1.
Yeah, 5 seconds. I'll probably go through cell.
Trying to get shit. I got no
Oh,
steals,
so the
double steals,
team
double
to the
Anyone,
east
anyone.
Three steals.
of...
Here.
Oh, this is
Hey,
really
let's go,
interesting. The
let's
team
go.
to the east of Yup, or sorry, one of, because I believe there was 2.
We have to play for the tunnel.
There was one playing more
yeah.
Hillside,
They're
one
done.
playing more
I'm
Waterfall.
looking over.
It was
Fighting.
Falcons. That's very interesting.
Give me that
So I
syringe.
actually
Give me
do
that syringe, Jen.
maybe want to watch the rest of this Falcons game out, just to see kind of how they played out of this situation. They know it's a really hard rotate. They hear those teams fighting, but they're only cross to those teams. Let's pause for a second. So as we know, Duplex and Native, the first POV we watch, we're fighting right here at this time. So Team Falcons is hearing this fighting. As you hear, I think Zero just calmed that they were fighting. So this river here is the only thing in zone, so that's the only way Falcons can wrap, and they only have a pocket here, so they'd be fucked for next zone. So this is still a really, really hard rotate for Falcons. I imagine they'll have no choice but to fight a team coming through this tunnel. But really good on them for recognizing this is their highest chance of success. So they're kind of in a place where they don't have a lot of options. So when you're in these situations, let's be real, you're not playing for first place because it's super unrealistic. Sometimes you'll have a team go crazy and like a bit of luck, a lot of skill, get a really good placement out of a position like this. It's not impossible. But usually what you want to do is you're saying, okay, I can't get first place this game, but obviously there's 6 games on the day, so I'm going to get as many points out of this as I can. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out, actually. So they're going to shoot out the Catalyst Trap. Really good scan. So triple swinging left here is a pretty good call because it has more cover in this tunnel than the right side. So even if there's 2 players playing this left side, you have a better chance of success than just standing in the open on the right.
Underneath. Come here.
Hal does get traded pretty efficiently by the other team. Really good job playing tight here. Their way out of this is to play super tight and punish the other team for making a mistake. Really nice nade. With the game info they have, I think they might wipe this team. Really good job not trying to push out the tunnel as well. Keeping it so it's an isolated 3v3. Oh, into the 1v1. No, to be honest, I think there's a world where they actually do win that. Oh, kind of like an awkward fight. I like how they played the start of that, because what they're doing by staying in here, they know the corner's in, so by not going out of the tunnel and trying to just like disengage or something, they're guaranteeing themselves this isolated 3v3, because no team in zone in their right mind would push out here. Oh, it does look like that's SSG. Well played by SSG. But yeah, let's take one more look at the end of that fight. So all right side, really good awareness from Zero here. Really, really good call. Because as you can see, Hal's kind of like checking their backside. He's not entirely sure where they are. So fantastic job by Zero. One of the best brains in the game, let's be honest. Insane awareness, along with Hal, of course. So really, really good job to communicate that to his team, get Hal back in for this 3v3. I'm playing it in half speed so we can get a little bit of a better breakdown. I don't love committing to this full spray. The reason being is if this is an open field or something like that, the chances of you hitting shots are pretty high, but there's a lot of small level changes in this tunnel. So as you can see, like to the right to where Hal is, you have like this slight step up. So that's like, it's really difficult when you don't have line of sight to recognize that and be able to like shoot at a consistent angle where that player would be. You also have like a lot of these walls and boxes. So committing to a full spray here forces him into a reload. They're losing a little bit of tempo, a little bit of control of the fight. Honestly, I would have liked to see him swing this because his two teammates are playing really, really tight on the left. When they swing that, chances are most of the enemy players are just going to be hard at watching that and shooting that. So this gives him a really, really good alt angle. I do understand zones coming in, but taking 1 or 2 ticks of zone here is honestly less dangerous than getting shot by professional players. So I would like to actually see him swing right about here, but I think he swings more on this side. Yeah, so he's going to run right beside this box, and now he actually doesn't have the nicest angle for shooting this guy. Still a pretty good spray though, but instantly gets turned on by the two behind this wall. And this is really difficult. This is a difficult push to make happen. I think, again, swinging farther right here is better for Hal because as you can see, as they do the damage to this guy, he's going to get damaged from right here. And this guy has a really safe peek against this wall, right? Because he's playing it really tight and he has a straight line of vision to Hal. If Hal is farther to the right, this guy has to swing out farther to the left to be able to see Hal. And it gives Zero and Jen a much better line of sight on him. Because he's not playing this as tightly, so it's easier to punish him. But like these fights are really, really difficult to navigate. You have so much information being thrown at you, so like executing perfectly on something like this is insanely difficult. And hindsight is obviously always 20/20, but good learning opportunity and maybe able to execute a little cleaner next time. Really nice try from Falcons. Again, I think a lot of their decision making there was really good. Decided to try and go through that tunnel instead of playing the open area on the other side. They made sure they took the isolated 3v3, and the execution didn't end up working out, but it was still a really, really nice attempt from them. And obviously this is probably the best team on the planet right now, so really well done by them. Now I'm gonna fast forward to game 2,
I mean, what you
because I want to see how they played from this level. Oh, I went a little far.
The door's not closed.
Okay, so
Just open?
they start in this area. It does look, when I fast forwarded it, they go to the nuts. So at some point, it does look like they will push the nuts. But take a look how they play this. There's going to be like 3 or 4 teams in their vicinity right now because there's 15 squads, and we know that hill is very, very open, so not a lot of teams can really be planted in that hill. So they are going to be looking to rotate in a little bit.
We can maybe kill this team when they come in.
I want to listen to the information they're giving. Zero looking to split hold. This is pretty good from Zero because he's getting more information on the other side of the north, like the north side of the zone, that like Hal and Jen can't see from this building. So he's getting them more information and he's doing it really safely. He's kind of hard to punish in that tunnel. Like nobody can really run at him or angle him out. So good call from Zero here. I really like to see how proactive he is as a player. I think that's how a lot of these high-performing players have their successes. They're always being proactive. They're never really just like sitting waiting for something to happen to them. They're always looking for a way to control tempo, get more information, and go from there. So really, really well done.
They're landing here again.
Yeah, just do it. Come here, Hal.
And let's see how they decide to play this.
Window smoke.
They're going to wall that building team really nice. And are they just opting to take a 3v3 with them?
I'm coming to 0.
I don't think anyone's right side.
There was a team that.
I think the house is free.
Playing grid.
Can you scan the house?
Yeah, I've scanned if you
If
want
they get this house for free,
Right in front of us. Top of the
Bob's
back.
my
Yeah, red.
fucking uncle. It does look like there's a team on the
Standing
low
back.
ground,
Top of the back.
so it won't be
Yeah, no,
free
it's
free.
not.
That's probably the team that was in the house.
One shot, bro.
Ooh, really nice shots from Zero, giving them a potential opening here.
Yeah, they're on the outside of the
I'm
wall.
holding bridge. I'm
I'm
holding
going
Um,
Road is far as fuck.
I think
I have wall for the
fighting
team
them
also.
isn't
I
super
got you.
duper isolated, because I think the building
Making a wall?
team or teams
armor behind
farther back on the hill would
They
be
have
able
space.
to
We can
angle
run
them
back
out.
They ran up here.
But Zero's kind of taking a look, and he's not getting
Yeah,
shot
he
at
is.
all.
Pretty sure.
And he's making the
They're
call
pulling
that
on.
they wrapped. Very
In the-
interesting.
In the fucking crate.
So they did wrap, and now this other team is
They're even
looking,
stuck
so
here.
they're going to have to take
Yeah.
this
Yeah, I do,
3v3.
but I'm top of the back. I'm a little behind.
Good opening damage from Hal to kind of like reset tempo a little bit, because that team was walking up. They had the advantage, but with that break, he forces a reset, and his two teammates are healthy, so they can kind of take some pressure back.
Crack on, flash, flash.
Yeah, I'm hitting one.
And
You're on the cave.
Hal looking for safe bats here. This is a really knife-edge fight. If you take 2 damage and don't get a chance to at least partially reset, your team just loses the fight. And oh my god, that guy, I don't know about sitting in that corner. That's never going to go too well for him. But looks like that team got walked up from behind, and he kind of ran out of options. And Hal should have a fun time here. Good job taking the door and then playing an alt angle. Gives his team an opening and then takes an alt angle, making it really hard for this other team to play. This is really well done by Hal. He is working this fucking team. Holy shit. And he's just going to walk in here, and they are going to finish this team. Jen needs to get healthy quick,
He's on the roof.
just in case. Good call by Hal. Here's him on the roof, communicating it. And now they hear another team flying in, so they really got to get this reset off. Nice scan. They have all the information they need, and they have the space they need to reset here, actually. So they are okay. Now they have to move, though.
He's cracked underneath us. He's cracked underneath us.
I like Zero dropping early here. I really like Zero dropping early here.
Right armor.
Because obviously on a zip line you're a little more of a sitting duck, and this is really good timing, a little bit of luck, and a little bit of good execution from Falcons, because they've identified that Yup is fighting that team that was sliding down, which means they're never going to be looking at them. So they, again, a little bit of luck, a little bit of good execution to get this window where the teams are fighting on the high ground, and so they can take the zip drop and take this area without getting punished for it. Keep in mind, if they get a shot on this rotation, it's infinitely harder because the zone's right at their back, right? So walking in here is a big challenge if you're risking that zone damage as well. So really, really nice timing. They're all pretty healthy, so they don't really need a chance to reset. I think they can just challenge this team that got scanned. Hal will have to bat here, but Zero and Jen Borton, good execution. And they have a nice little corner here. They also have a corner farther back. They are pretty safe, but they want to get off the low ground as soon as possible. Hal's going to have his scan back in 1 second.
You have to do it, Jen. You have to do it.
They're fighting. Hard trading.
Yes, really good calls from Hal here. Not wasting time, taking the space. He's going to wait for that guy to drop and then clean up. He doesn't have to worry about an armor swap. He's still really healthy. Yeah, scan and plays 3.
Yeah, let's do it, 100%. Okay, we're getting grabbed.
Really nice job from Hal here.
Are you ready?
I don't. They don't hear any fighting above them.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Hold on.
Wait for it. I'm gonna smoke on the right side. We're gonna monk left.
Okay.
How long?
5 seconds.
Okay, really good calming all their cooldowns to make this fight as high percentage chance of winning as possible. And that's SSG launching out of the cannon. And then we saw Yup's POV. They will destroy them. So interesting to see, because when we watched the first game, I said they probably didn't have any options when they did that, and it's funny to see from the other angle.
Did you grab nades? I didn't find any nades.
Falcons forcing them into the cannon, into Yup's waiting arms,
Okay, we gotta touch base.
where they will get eliminated in
I have double
4th.
close range, kinda. We have to hold the same.
Still kind of
They're on zone.
focusing
They're
on their
on zone.
reset.
I have ult at
They're pretty
5%.
good on resources. They
There's
don't
only
really
three
have to
squads.
worry.
Top and us and the top just wins.
Three
We have to kill second
squads.
at least.
Okay.
So the right team will be pushing them at some point here, as we saw in game 1. They're doing a pretty good job of playing the height angles. So height can't see them right now, but can see the other team. So that
I can't see them.
that works out really, really well for Falcons, because you're basically shooting this team 6v3 instead of
Yes, they are. We can kill
3v3.
them. I swear to you, ahead.
And now they're going to look for the KP. They know the chance of winning against height team is really, really low, so they just want to get that second place and KP, and that's what they will do. Really good execution from Falcons.
3v3.
I mean, not much you can do here.
Good damage. I'm right here loading.
3v2, and you're stuck on this horrible low ground. I think the best
That's ALGS.
option for them to win this fight, again, insanely difficult. Your chance of winning this fight is like maybe 1 in 20. Like, this is an insanely hard position to win from. Maybe in ladder it's a little higher because you have a bunch of fucking morons running at you. But when you have professional players in a 3v2 with high ground like this, really hard to win. The only chance I think of winning is not looking for any sort of reset. You kind of double swing this left side with the heady and try and beam the first guy as he's sliding down. If you can team shoot the first guy as he's sliding down and get an insta knock, then you're in an insta 2v2. But again, the execution on that is like insanely difficult, insanely low percentage. To be honest, you're kind of just doomed in this position. But overall, an insanely good game from Falcons here.
No, we killed.
Really cool to see from that other POV.